Well, constitutional law expert Bruce DelValle joins us now from Annapolis, Maryland. Good to have you on the program with us. Let's obviously talk about the legal action being taken by the Trump team. What kind of legal precedent is there for a challenge like this to a U.S. election before all the votes have been counted?
It is a little odd. I will tell you that recounts are not unusual. There was a recount in Wisconsin. The Green Party ordered it or paid for it, and Hillary Clinton went along with it. Recounts are something that we see fairly often. Lawsuits filed after elections are fairly commonplace. But the effort to try to stop counting votes is a little odd. And in a way, it's a little absurd and silly. The one case that everyone looks to, it's a mystical mystery case, the Bush v. Gore. One of the very few things that was clear about that opinion was the Supreme Court found that if one county was recounting or looking at the ballots a different way than another county, that was an equal protection violation. That was a violation of one county residents getting a benefit that others do not. Asking one or two states to stop counting their votes, but encouraging others to hurry up and count their votes, the good for me, do it, bad for me, don't do it, is a little transparent and frankly just not, it doesn't hold water. It's clearly an equal protection violation. So I don't think there's going to be any real chance of success. The issue of calling fraud or saying this isn't fair, you cheated me, there has to be a little bit more to it than that.
Okay. When you talk about the 2000 presidential election, which famously, of course, went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, and President Trump saying he wants to take this legal battle to the Supreme Court, what are the implications here of another U.S. election potentially ending up in a legal battle in the Supreme Court and possibly the outcome being decided by justices?
I think one of your earlier guests hit on that. There has to be a lawsuit that has some merit, and it has to be a real lawsuit. The lawsuits in Pennsylvania and now in Georgia I don't think they're going to get far enough. I think that what's going to happen is a state court or the federal court is going to make a decision, and then an appellate court will say, no, this is a ridiculous case, we're throwing it out, and the Supreme Court will say, no, we're not going to do this. There's no real issue here. The only way the Supreme Court will look at it is if there is truly an issue that needs to be resolved. I think that's going to be very difficult for the Trump team to come up with a cognizable issue. Once again, it's not enough just to say I was cheated, I was defrauded, that was unfair. There's 43 votes in Chatham County, Georgia, and North Georgia that someone dropped on someone's desk. I'm not sure if in fact, I'm pretty sure that's just not enough. There's not a case or controversy there. You have to say, I was cheated by this person on this date at this location, and this is how it happened. It has to rise to the level of being systemic fraud. If there's 40 votes that are problematic, the quick and easy answer, ask a 12-year-old, throw those 40 votes out. That's not going to make a difference. So I think that it's one thing to say politics, I'm taking this to the Supreme Court, but when the law comes in, the law is much different than politics. The law has the standards. There has to be a case or controversy. There has to be something happening. There has to be a wrong. And in the case of the Supreme Court, it has to be a wrong that impacts everyone in the United States, or potentially the United States interest or the interest of all of the people in that individual state.
So when you talk about these cases needing to have merit, where do you see this heading? Do you think this is just going to be a waste of time and potentially delay election results?
I think it is going to be a little bit of a waste of time. I think it's once again, it's a political process. It's not yet a legal process. There were a great number of cases, however, that were determined before we even got here. It's really interesting that I see a lot of the media harping on the Republicans' efforts to interfere with the vote, for voter interference. And it's fascinating because what the Democrats have done in pretty much all of these battleground states has tried to insert new rules, last-second changes that benefits them. They've asked, despite the state law, they've asked judges or agencies or the election board to change the law. And only the Congress can change that, the state Congress. So what's happened to a lot of these cases, they've been denied. In Wisconsin, that effort was denied. In Georgia, the effort was denied. In Georgia, there was a federal court that said, yeah, I think it's a good idea. Let's have a couple more days for these ballots to trickle in. But Georgia law doesn't say that, and Georgia law doesn't allow it. So that lawsuit was decided against the effort to continue the actions. Now, the Trump team seems to be talking, there's two reasons, two grounds. One, they're saying these new rules or these rules of extended voting, you can't count after Election Day because that's bad for the pandemic. It's the spread of the pandemic, and it just seems unfair. That's not really a legal issue. The second one, which is more interesting and we can get into more, is the constitutional question. But for right now, it looks like in the absence of any cognizable merit, there probably isn't much that's going to happen with these lawsuits, although there is a one slim chance or possibility, especially in Pennsylvania, where the lawsuit could have some merit.
Okay, well, let's leave it there for now. Constitutional law expert Bruce DelValle, I appreciate you sharing your expertise with us.